My girlfriend and I came from the same town and graduated from the same high school together. She was my first love, and I had never experienced love or a relationship before her. I wasn't her first love because she had been in relationships with two other guys before me. I wouldn't say she was exceptionally unique. She was just available at the time, but she held a special place in my heart. Unfortunately, her dad strongly disapproved of our relationship. He believed that I would negatively influence her and distract her from her studies. He was a real bully and enjoyed intimidating teenage boys like me. He threatened me a few times, especially when it came to his daughter, but I didn't want to involve my dad, so I kept it to myself. I thought her dad was quite foolish, but we continued to date secretly. The interesting part is that his daughter wasn't exactly an angel. She was far from it. Compared to her, I was like a choir boy. She was the adventurous one, always getting into trouble. But somehow, she managed to convince her dad that she was innocent, and it was always someone else's fault. I was young and naive, so I didn't know any better. I was willing to take the blame for her, just to be close to her. My friends and I still laugh about it to this day, how her father believed she was as pure as the Virgin Mary. When it came to prom, this man took his daughter himself because he didn't want any guy to get close to her. What a silly decision. Someone should have told him the truth about his daughter. During high school, we experimented with drugs, but she was actually the one who initiated it, especially amongst our group of friends. She was the most adventurous among us back then, but to her father, she's the most innocent person. Anyway, my relationship with her parents didn't start off on a good note. Her dad used to chase me around whenever he saw me with his daughter. So when we went to college, my girlfriend wanted to move in with me, but I declined because I didn't want her dad to unexpectedly visit and find me there. So we came up with an arrangement where she would share a room with her best friend but could spend the night at my place. I rented a two-bedroom apartment with my best friend, and my girlfriend would spend most nights at our place. Both my girlfriend and I shared a passion for photography and videography. We would capture amazing moments and share them on Instagram. She had a following of 70,000, and we even traveled across the country, taking stunning pictures. Before long, we found ourselves immersed in the practice of taking nude photographs, and we even willingly participated in photo shoots alongside renowned nude photographers like Spencer Turnett. Those photo shoots often involve capturing images of public nudity with as many as 100 people involved, making it nearly impossible to identify us in the midst of numerous nudists. It's important to note that the initial idea for these adventures came from my girlfriend, and I decided to join her in these experiences. Eventually, my girlfriend confided in one of her friends about our activities, and somehow words made its way back to her family. As expected, her father caught wind of this, and a significant commotion ensued. He began relentlessly calling me and accusing me of convincing his daughter to participate in these activities. I was genuinely taken aback by this accusation because I couldn't understand what had given him that impression. When I inquired of my girlfriend, who had led her father to believe that I had persuaded her to engage in those activities, she attempted to deceive me with falsehood. However, I eventually realized that instead of owning up to her actions, she had a tendency to place blame on me for various matters. Despite feeling initially upset, I didn't let it bother me for too long. I chose to move on and willingly accept responsibility for the situation. However, our story didn't end there. My girlfriend then came up with the idea of creating an OnlyFans account, and I began capturing sensual photos of her for this new venture. She took measures to hide her identity by concealing her face, ensuring that her true identity remained unknown. I assumed the role of photographer, and as we continued to produce more pictures, her fans began requesting increasingly explicit content. It was around this time that I purchased a portable hard drive that I used to back up everything because my laptop needed more space. This will come to save my ass later. Eventually, the request escalated to the point where her fans were willing to pay more if she engaged in actual activities on camera with someone. We both maintained our anonymity by covering our faces, so it didn't pose a significant concern for either of us. In fact, I was quite enthusiastic about it as well. I advised my girlfriend to keep our venture a private matter and refrain from sharing it with any of her friends. However, our best friend, who also happened to be our roommate, discovered our secret because we openly discussed it around the house and our recording equipment was readily visible. The financial gains we were making served as a strong incentive to continue. So we started having X on camera and everything was going good. Subsequently, she confided in her friends about our activities and somehow the information spread. Even her dad caught wind of this and once again they pointed the finger at me. This time, he took it a step further and reported me to my family. Consequently, my girlfriend had to take down the website. Fortunately, I was able to refute the accusation as my parents couldn't find any concrete evidence to support the claim. However, it was at that point that I decided to stop participating in explicit content creation with my girlfriend on camera. My girlfriend admitted her mistake in sharing our secrets with her friends and assured me that she wouldn't repeat it. She proposed that we continue, albeit with a different account, but I declined the offer. A few days later, I noticed that our recording equipment, including the camcorders we use for recording and the lighting gear, had disappeared. When I asked my girlfriend about it, she explained that she had relocated them to her apartment. I didn't dwell on it too much at the time because my priority was to focus on my studies and put all the turmoil behind me. Gradually, my girlfriend started spending less time at my apartment and our shared activities became less frequent. When I inquired about it, she would tell me that she was studying, but I had known her long enough to sense that she was being dishonest. I suspected that she might have opened another OnlyFan page or something similar. Then one day my class ended earlier than usual, and when I returned home, I noticed my girlfriend's car parked outside my apartment. This puzzled me, so I hurried inside. Upon entering, I caught a brief glimpse of my girlfriend darting into my room. My best friend was also at home, and when I reached my room, I found my girlfriend under the sheets, pretending to be asleep. I knew what I had seen, and it didn't take much to put the piece together regarding what was happening. However, I decided to act unaware and ask her why she was at my place since I hadn't been expecting her. She replied, saying she was feeling tired and wanted to crash at my place. Then it struck me that she might have been betraying our relationship with my best friend. The next day, when my best friend headed off to class, I made a decision to enter his room by climbing through the balcony of the first floor. I knew he typically left his screen door open, so I took advantage of that opportunity. As I entered his room, I found the camera equipment that had disappeared from my room. It became clear that my girlfriend had not been trustworthy with me. She had simply moved the recording equipment from my room to his and had falsely claimed to have moved it to her place. But the shock didn't end there. I also stumbled upon video recording of my girlfriend and my best friend engaged in intimate activities. Later, I discovered she had been sending these videos to her fans, who were paying her for them. This revelation left me devastated and overwhelmed with anger. Without much thought, I made a decision that I would later deeply regret. I sent the video of her intimate encounter with my best friend to her father. This decision triggered a maelstrom of chaos as her dad became furious at her, and my girlfriend directed her anger towards me, threatening to file charges against me. That night, I had a heated argument with my best friend, and I decided to post my room online, seeking someone to sublease for a much lower rent than I was paying. I no longer wanted to stay in the same apartment with someone who had betrayed my trust like that by carrying on an affair with my girlfriend. After my girlfriend and I broke up, both she and her father filed a lawsuit against me, alleging damages. They claimed that I had shared explicit video of her online. My dad hired a lawyer to represent me, and we went to court. Additionally, she brought a case against me with the school, and unfortunately, they didn't give me an opportunity to explain my side of the story. They simply expelled me. During the court proceeding, I presented evidence, including pictures and videos, to demonstrate that she had been involved in adult entertainment. I also had contact information of some of her fans to whom she had sent videos, and I managed to obtain sworn statements from some of them to support my case. I found a sense of satisfaction in witnessing Haddad's reaction as he read through all the text messages and letters, discovering that his daughter had actually been the one instigating everything from the beginning. I couldn't fathom what falsehood she might have told him that made him think it was a good idea to sue me. Ultimately, the case was dismissed. My dad and I took legal action against the university, which compelled them to settle. They reinstated me and compensated me with free tuition to keep things quiet. Interestingly, she was never expelled from the school, even after the truth came to light. I have crossed paths with her a few times on campus, and although she attempted to establish eye contact, I always simply chose to walk past her. As for my former best friend, we never spoke to each other again, and she dumped him immediately after she lost the case. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. Please don't forget to support the channel by liking and subscribing. Also, let me get your reaction in the comment section. Thank you and